You're walking through tall grass 100,000 years ago. The sun is disappearing behind the horizon. Everything around you suddenly becomes quiet. Too quiet. Then you hear it. A rustle behind you, you stop. You slowly turn around. Two glowing yellow eyes stare back at you. Not a modern lion. Something much worse. A cave lion. Nearly 25% larger than any lion alive today. Around 700 pounds of muscle. Claws longer than your fingers. Teeth built to crush your neck in a single bite. And it's looking directly at you. Unfortunately, you're you. No rifle, no knife, no spear, not even a sharp stick. Your fingernails? Completely useless. Your teeth? Great for chewing fruit. Not so great for fighting a lion. You can't outrun it. You can't outclimb it. You definitely can't punch it, unless your plan is to make the lion laugh itself to death, which probably won't work. So here's the question. If humans were this weak, why are we still here? And why? Is the cave lion extinct? For most of human history, we weren't the hunters. We were lunch. We have the fossils to prove it. One of the most famous discoveries came from South Africa. The skull of a young child. Only about 3 years old. The bones still carried the unmistakable marks of a leopard attack. Not a warrior, not a hunter, a child. For millions of years. That was humanity's place in the food chain, below almost everything. And the animals hunting us weren't ordinary predators. Imagine a cat, the size of a small car, the saber-toothed cat. Its teeth could grow nearly 11 inches long. It didn't chase prey across open fields. It waited, perfectly still, hidden in tall grass, then exploded forward without warning. One bite, game over. If somehow you escaped that. There were cave hyenas. Think of a modern hyena. Now imagine one. That clearly never skipped jaw day. Their bite was powerful enough to crush solid bone, not for fun, for the marrow inside. And they didn't hunt alone. They hunted in packs, mostly at night, exactly when humans could barely see anything. Then there were cave lions, short-faced bears, dire wolves. Every continent had its own version of, congratulations, you're the main course? Humanity wasn't surviving in paradise. We were surviving inside the world's largest all-you-can-eat buffet. And unfortunately, we were on the menu. By every biological measurement, humans should have disappeared. Seriously, compare us to almost any predator. A chimpanzee. Our closest living relative is around 3 times stronger than the average human. And chimps still get killed by leopards. Now remove most of that strength. Take away the fangs. Take away the climbing ability. Stand completely upright. So every predator can spot you from across the grassland. Congratulations. You've invented early humans. Even our babies were a problem. They couldn't walk for nearly a year. They cried, constantly. Which is a fantastic feature, when every predator within half a mile is looking for dinner, by all accounts. Our ancestors should have become another extinct species, but they didn't. Because humans discovered something. That every predator feared. Fire. Around 1 million years ago, at Wonderwork Cave in South Africa, our ancestors weren't just using fire. They were controlling it. Archaeologists found layers of ash, burned animal bones, and the remains of ancient campfires. That might not sound impressive today. You've probably started a fire with the push of a button. Early humans couldn't. Keeping a fire alive wasn't a convenience, it was survival. Imagine being the first person responsible for the tribe's fire. If it went out, everyone slept in the dark. Good luck explaining that. Fire changed everything. Before it, sunset meant game over. As soon as darkness arrived, humans stopped moving. Every shadow, could be hiding teeth. Every strange sound could be the last thing you ever heard. The safest thing to do was absolutely nothing. Then came fire. Suddenly, the night belonged to us too. A small campfire created something extraordinary. A safe zone. Lions stayed back. Hyenas hesitated. Even today, wild predators are incredibly cautious around flames. For the first time, humans weren't hiding from the darkness. The darkness was hiding from us. But fire did much more than scare away predators. It bought us something that evolution had never given us before: time. 3, sometimes 4 extra hours, every single night, time to repair tools, time to tell stories, time to teach children, time to plan tomorrow's hunt. Predators spent the night waiting. Humans spent the night getting smarter. And then someone made another discovery. Throwing raw meat into the fire actually made it taste better. More importantly, it made it easier to digest. Cooking unlocked more calories. More calories meant more energy. More energy meant bigger brains, and bigger brains meant better ideas. Fire wasn't just keeping us alive. It was quietly upgrading humanity. Without anyone realizing it, the weakest animal on the savannah had just started changing the rules. But fire alone wasn't enough, because eventually the fire went out. And every morning, our ancestors still had to walk back into a world where something was waiting to eat them. So humans developed their second weapon, one that no lion, no wolf, and no saber-toothed cat could ever copy. Not strength, not speed, endurance. Most predators are built for one thing: ending the chase as quickly as possible. A cave lion can explode from hiding and hit nearly 30 miles per hour in just a few seconds. A cheetah is even faster. A wolf can sprint, a bear can sprint. Almost everything that wanted to eat you could sprint. Humans? Not so much. If evolution held a race, we probably wouldn't win. We'd just politely clap for the winners. So why didn't speed matter? Because humans weren't trying to win the first minute. We were trying to win the last one. Imagine you're an antelope. You're drinking peacefully at a watering hole. Then you notice a human. No claws, no fangs, no muscles. Just some weird hairless ape jogging toward you. You panic. You sprint away. 100 yards, 200, half a mile. Finally, you stop. The danger must be gone. Then you look back. He's still coming. Not fast. Just annoyingly consistent. So you run again. Another mile. You stop again. Catch your breath. Look behind you. He's still there. At this point, you're not even scared anymore. You're just confused. 3 hours later, that same human is somehow still jogging. No dramatic music. No superhero powers. Just pure stubbornness. This technique is called persistence hunting. Instead of outrunning prey, humans outlasted it. Most mammals cool themselves by panting, but panting only works when you stop running. Humans evolved something different: sweat. Millions of tiny cooling systems, covering almost every inch of our bodies. As long as we had water, we could keep moving. Hour after hour after hour. Meanwhile, the animal had a terrible choice: stop running and get caught, or keep running until its own body overheated. Eventually, its muscles stopped working, its breathing became shallow, its legs gave out. Then, the strange ape finally caught up. Imagine spending your entire life evolving incredible speed only to lose to someone who refused to quit walking. That must have been a very embarrassing day. But endurance wasn't just useful for hunting. It also helped humans survive. Predators are explosive. They're built for short attacks. If an ambush failed, many predators simply gave up. Humans didn't. If danger forced us to leave camp, we kept moving. Across rivers, across plains, across mountains, sometimes for days. Not because we were stronger, because we could just keep going. And while our legs kept moving, our brains were doing something even more important: watching, learning, remembering. Every footprint in the mud told a story. Every broken branch meant something had passed through. Every fresh track was either dinner or a warning. Humans slowly became experts at reading nature like a giant book, and that knowledge would become even more powerful than fire. Because the greatest weapon humans ever invented wasn't a tool. It wasn't a spear. It wasn't even fire. It was each other. Fire kept predators away. Endurance caught prey. But neither explains why humans conquered the planet. Because there was one thing no other predator could match. Not claws, not teeth, not speed. Compassion. Imagine you're old. Your knees hurt. You can't run anymore. You can't hunt. You can't fight. Out in nature. That's usually the end. A lion that can't hunt starves. A wolf separated from the pack dies. Nature isn't known for retirement plans, but humans did something strange. Around 1.8 million years ago, scientists discovered the skeleton of an elderly human ancestor in what is now Georgia. There was something remarkable about him. He had lost every single tooth, years before he died. Think about that. No teeth, no way to chew raw meat, no way to survive alone. Yet, he lived for years afterward. How? Because somebody fed him. Someone gathered food for him. Someone cooked it soft enough to eat. Someone spent time keeping him alive. That doesn't sound impressive today. We do it all the time. But in the Ice Age, it was revolutionary. Helping someone survive meant fewer resources for yourself, yet humans kept doing it. Again and again. Another discovery comes from Shanidar Cave in Iraq. A Neanderthal man lived with a crushed arm, blindness in one eye, and severe arthritis. By himself, he wouldn't have survived a single winter. Instead, his group kept him alive for years. While every other predator relied on strength, humans relied on each other. Think about that for a second. A lion pride works together, but only while everyone can still hunt. Humans? We looked after our weakest members, children, the elderly, the injured, even people who could no longer fight. That meant something incredible happened. Knowledge stopped dying with individuals. Imagine the oldest person in your tribe. They know which berries are poisonous, where lions usually hunt, how to find water during a drought, how to start a fire after rain. If that person dies, all that knowledge disappears. But if they survive, they teach the next generation. And then, the next one. Generation after generation, knowledge kept growing. Not because humans became smarter overnight, because every child started life with millions of years of accumulated experience. No predator could compete with that. Then something even more powerful happened. Humans stopped reacting. A lion pride hunts by instinct. Humans made plans. You go left. I'll wait behind the rocks. When the animal runs, drive it toward the river. We'll be waiting. That's something no other animal had ever done at this level. Language turned dozens of individuals into one coordinated mind. And once humans learned to work together, the balance of power began to shift. We stopped hiding from predators. We started hunting them. Around 400,000 years ago, our ancestors crafted wooden throwing spears. Simple, balanced, deadly. For the first time, humans didn't need to stand within arm's reach of danger. They could strike From a distance, a cave lion may have had bigger teeth, a saber-toothed cat may have had stronger muscles, but neither one had ever faced 10 humans, all throwing spears at the same time. For the first time in millions of years, the hunter was becoming the hunted. Then, something changed. Around 70,000 years ago, humans began leaving Africa. Not just a few families, entire generations, across deserts, across mountains, across frozen tundra, into Europe, Asia, Australia, eventually, the Americas. Everywhere humans went, they met new predators, different landscapes, different dangers, different monsters, and every single time, they adapted. They didn't evolve sharper claws, they made better spears, they didn't grow thicker fur, they learned to sew animal skins into clothing, they didn't develop night vision, they carried fire into the darkness. Every weakness became an invention. Imagine trying to evolve against humans. You're a cave lion. Every generation, your teeth get sharper, your muscles get stronger, your senses become more refined. Then one day, your prey starts throwing pointy sticks from 30 feet away. That's not something evolution can prepare you for, because evolution is slow. Humans weren't. Every new idea could spread through an entire tribe, then another tribe, then another. One clever invention didn't stay with one person. It spread. A sharper spear, a better trap, a safer campsite. A smarter hunting strategy. Knowledge moved. Far faster than genes ever could. And that changed everything. Slowly. The balance shifted. The animals that had hunted humans for millions of years were now avoiding us. Some disappeared entirely. The mighty cave lion, gone. The saber-toothed cat, gone. The giant short-faced bear, gone. Dire wolves, giant ground sloths, woolly mammoths. Many vanished not long after humans arrived in their habitats. Scientists still debate exactly how much was caused by hunting and how much by climate change. But one thing is impossible to ignore. The world kept changing. Humans kept adapting. The predators didn't. Think back to where this story began. You, standing alone, in the tall grass, watching two glowing eyes stare back at you. At the beginning of this story, you were terrified. Now imagine that same cave lion, seeing 10 humans, walking toward it, each carrying a spear, each carrying fire, each communicating with one another. For the first time, the lion is afraid. For 2 million years, our ancestors hid in caves, climbed trees, ran from shadows, lost children to predators, watched friends disappear into the grass, never to return. They weren't fearless. They weren't unbeatable. They survived, one generation at a time, each generation leaving behind a better tool, a smarter idea, a safer camp, a lesson written not on paper, but in memory. That's what makes humans different. A lion cub has to learn almost everything for itself. A human child is born into millions of years of accumulated knowledge. Every mistake our ancestors survived became a lesson. Every lesson became an advantage. And every advantage made the next generation just a little harder to kill. So, how did humans survive when everything on Earth was built to kill them? Not because we were the fastest, not because we were the strongest, not because we had the sharpest claws or the biggest teeth. We survived because every time nature gave us a weakness, we invented a solution, and those solutions never died with us. They were passed on, improved, passed on again, until one day, the weakest ape on Earth became the species every other animal feared. The story of humanity isn't the story of the strongest survivor. It's the story of the best learner And that changed the world.